can check my ability to question things at the door. I don't need to question anything. I'm just going to follow what everybody tells me to do. So there is value in questioning those things to find out what's right for you, yes. But the real value of questioning is that it allows you to penetrate into the unknown. Ooh, Danny boy. Oh, Danny boy. Oh, Danny boy. We all get knocked down, Chumbawamba style. And basically everybody gets back up for the most part. It's hard to think of examples where people just never got back up. Song is a shout out to Danny, one of the listeners. And what up, Danny? The reflection for today mentioned, I think it was 2 episodes ago, I mentioned the 3 daily practices. Question everything, don't take anything for granted. Study, reflect daily. Now, Advaita Vedanta has 3 perennial practices that are not necessarily daily practices, but they are the progression of practice. And that's Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Sanskrit for listening, reflecting, and then experiencing. Meditation is the technical term for Nididhyasana, but it's not just sitting in a meditative lotus position. The progression is about going from hearing a concept to reflecting on it. And reflection, as this philosophy says, is 100,000 times more powerful than hearing, than just hearing a concept, but really understanding it. Hearing about someone surfing and then really reflecting on what they're doing to surf. It's 100,000 times more powerful. And 100,000 times more powerful than reflecting is experiencing what this philosophy is talking about. The ultimate experience. Enlightenment, realization, waking up, seeing, experiencing what is, which is a bit of a linguistic misnomer because language is so limited. There is, it's not technically an experience. If you experience non-duality, there is no subject that is experiencing an object. We touch a lot on the stream of experiences that makes up a life. Yesterday's episode, when I touched on the summary of the entire philosophy of Advaita Vedanta. But today's reflection is on the first daily practice. And this is a kind of a Swamiism because the classical, like I said, practices in progression are Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, but the daily practices each of us are encouraged to do every single day for any cultivation of wisdom or cultivation of characters. Question everything, meaning just think for yourself and not just say, you know what? Everybody agrees. Life is all about name, fame, power. It's all about checking every one of the boxes that I'm told makes for a great life and really inquiring, is that right? Is that accurate? Is the gospel of more? Is that what leads to peace inside? Is that what leads to bliss and happiness? Because we all know a lot of people that have a lot, but they certainly lack inner peace. And that kind of questioning, it is so powerful. It's so beneficial, but I've never articulated why. Just said it's a really powerful foundation to any philosophical or cultivation of wisdom practice. Is to question all of our inner beliefs that we've had maybe since we were 5 years old, that we took as absolute gospel because, you know what, more is always better. Or the idea that, you know what, as long as if I can get all of the things that I want, then I'll be happy. Question these concepts that we, in many ways, design our entire lives around. It's certainly valuable to question those concepts and come up with principles that we ourselves actively, participatorily really want to sink our teeth into and design our life around, rather than, I'm not going to question anything. My grandparents did this, and my parents said that, and now I'm going to say the exact same thing to my kids. And that's just, I can check my ability to question things at the door. I don't need to question anything. I'm just going to follow what everybody tells me to do. So there is value in questioning those things to find out what's right for you, yes. But the real value of questioning is that it allows you to penetrate into the unknown. When you question, why am I doing this? It's like uncharted territory. Mentally speaking, it's uncharted territory. When you question, why am I feeling this emotion? You're plunging into unknown territory. If it was known, you wouldn't be questioning it. It's just known. And if you're questioning it, it's because you don't know. And what's so beautiful beyond just penetrating into the unknown? Why do we do that? Why? Maybe I should take this other job that pays less because, well, the world would tell me that's a terrible decision, but I'm going to think for myself. When we do that, when we plunge into the unknown, we shed light, question it, come up with the answers for ourselves versus just copy and pasting what everyone around us tells us. Another thing happens, which is even more beautiful than shining a light and discovering an insight that's right for you that might not be what anyone around you told you to do, or might not be what your parents wanted you to do. But when we do this, this other thing happens, and that's we become comfortable in the unknown. We live in it. We find untapped, latent life and energy in the unknown. When we become comfortable in questioning, is that right for me? Yeah, that might have been right for my best friend. And she or he really, really wanted that thing, but I don't know if I want. No, I don't think that's for me. Oh, wow, my whole community believes this, supports this political candidate, but I think I'm going to think for myself. When we do that, yes, we get these insights that are right for us as individuals that we would have completely missed. We get these insights about emotions and why we're having those emotions when we question everything. We get insights into humility, like, wow, maybe I'm wrong about this. And then you think about it and you're like, holy hell, I was really, really wrong. I'm going to question everything. I am so convinced that my parent was this way or that way because of XYZ reason. But maybe I'm going to question that. And you end up with phenomenal insight. But like I said, even more than that, you end up with a comfort in the darkness. What's so great about that is you can then live there. It becomes quite self-reinforcing, almost in this compoundingly positive upward direction, where you discover more and more insights that then allow you to have more alignment with you and your environment, with how you're wired and the nature around you. And that's beautiful in its own right, but then it reinforces, wow, I should question more. I think I really like this questioning. I'm gaining momentum, speed, ascension by questioning. And then you become more and more comfortable with questioning. It's like you're a gym rat for questioning. You keep going to that gymnasium of questioning, of trying to think through things for yourself without just taking it as gospel because someone told you, well, this is what it is, so don't question it. And that comfort we get into the unknown is the beginning of pulling back the veil and seeing it's not comfort, and you actually discover, you shine light on everything and you see everything. It's quite the opposite. It's like looking out into the night sky, seeing all of the stars and feeling so small. It's this beautiful humility of waking up with so much comfort in the unknown that all you see is unknown around you. That extreme comfort in the unknown allows you to live there. And what's beautiful about that is it's built-in humility. Socrates famously would go around and say, the only thing I know is that I know nothing. We're still talking about that mofo 2,400 years later because of his proclamations of what he didn't know. We're not talking about the millions, the billions of people that proclaim what they knew and then wasn't. As that Mark Twain quote goes of, it's not so much what people don't know that gets them in trouble. It's what they don't know that just ain't so that gets them in trouble. We're talking about this guy 2,400 years later. The West, father of philosophical thought, for his proclamations of what he didn't know. When we find ourselves out in that dark, the deep, dark unknown, with the comfort of being there, looking around, you see everything with fresh eyes. And to round out this reflection, what's beautiful about that? So you have more insights the more you penetrate into the unknown. You have more comfort to be in the unknown. Take on unknown tasks. You take on projects where you don't know how it's going to work out because you're so comfortable in that unknown. Then you have built-in humility from that comfort of being in the unknown. But lastly, what's so beautiful about that comfort, being in the unknown and seeing unknown everywhere, just bathing yourself in the unknown in each direction. What's so beautiful is then you can see things for what they are. The mirror, the glasses lens, the projector at the movie theater isn't trying to superimpose what it thinks it should reflect or it should show. Its value is in its clarity, its ability to get out of the way, to reflect what is. Similarly, when we get out of the way, without all of our hard-earned, really certain attitudes on how things are, when we get out of the way and we see things as they is, it's like the light rushing in instead of blinding darkness. It's so paradoxical, but in the willingness to go out into what looks like darkness, surrounding yourself in the unknown. What is so paradoxical is as we take on all of these things, the insights, the comfort, the humility, it's like the light rushes in to show us how things actually are. When I look at a startup to potentially invest in, and I look at it with this lens of, I don't know. Yeah, I built financial technology for a decade, but I might not know what this crypto startup is up to. I probably have no idea what this financial technology startup is up to, even if it was tangential to what I was doing before. The more clarity I can jump into a situation with brand new information, instead of the trap of just projecting, no, I already know what's a good idea or what's a bad idea in this space. Or in interacting with people, no, I already know this, I know this type. She or he, I already know that type. I know what this interaction is going to be like. Oh, I already know what this day is going to be like because it's always just, it's a grind. My colleagues, they don't like me. If you can drop all of those trappings of these knowns, these certainties, and as the light rushes in, almost like a camera opening its aperture, you have this newfound ability to see what is, instead of a narrow scope of what you were certain about before, but the humility, the comfort, the aperture of seeing it all. you don't only just see what's right for you, you see what's right from wrong. You see what's truth from falsehood. And who wouldn't want clarity? Who wouldn't want to see things clearly? And what this philosophy says is that clarity itself, is not just on the other side of the unknown. It's right smack dab in the middle, making yourself completely at home in the unknown, of craving the unknown, of almost feeling an averse reaction to thinking you know, but instead preferring the warm blanket of no, maybe I don't know. And every time I say maybe I don't know, I have some new insight, some perspective of clarity. I make some decision that was only possible because of that comfort, that humility, that wider aperture of plunging into the unknown. And all of that starts with questioning everything. You don't have to take it to an extreme the first time you hear this. You don't have to question everything and every step of your right foot, then your left foot, questioning whether gravity is going to be there. But try it out in incremental doses. Questioning, maybe this food isn't so good for me. Maybe I'll actually feel better than just the satisfaction I feel for 15 or 20 minutes after eating that. I'll feel better tomorrow for a couple hours, maybe the whole day by not eating it. Maybe sending this email, even though I'm certain I'm right, and I'm going to completely body check this person at work for being wrong. Maybe you wait a day. Maybe you question, maybe I'm not right. That angry text. That decision that you feel is absolutely right in that fork in the road. Give it some space. Start with the questions there. The outside, external world. But pretty soon you'll find it tempting to question all of the things in our inner world, all of our intuitions, all of our certainties. Who knows what you can find? That's today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.